Depending on where you are in the world, you might be prepping up for spring cleaning, and along with that comes also yard maintenance and things you want to do around the home. So as you prepare for this time of the year, today I want to introduce you to something called second order thinking, which is a decision-making tool that takes you beyond that initial, what is my problem, here is the result, and makes you think a little bit more about it. For this exercise today, I have one of my large B5 desk pads. You could use your notebook as well for this. At the very top, we're going to put just our header here. So this is called second order thinking. Next is we're going to put our topic or our decision that we're going to be making. And then I've broken this down into 3 columns. First, second, and third will be the headers for here. And below is where we'll go ahead and write out our different decisions and the outcomes of each of those. If you want, I've also included a printable with this as well, which will link down in the descriptions below and also over on the blog. So here's how you use second order thinking. Here at the top of our page, we're going to write down our decision or our topic. And this is going to be starting my garden renovation. This is a pretty big decision to do, especially if you're going beyond just putting down some new mulch or planting some new flowers. But even with those, we need to make sure we're thinking through the entire project, not just, oh, let's go ahead and renovate this, get some mulch, buy some new plants, and we're done with it. This is going to help us go beyond that and also help us think about everything we need to do before we actually start this project. Nothing is worse than getting started with the project and then having to stop less than halfway through because you forgot something. So the way this is going to work, we're going to go ahead and write down our first decision or thing that we want to change in the first column. So I'm going to go ahead and write down replace mulch. This is usually where my brain works. I need to do a garden renovation, therefore I'm going to go ahead and replace my mulch. But the second order thinking takes it to the next level. And the way this works is you're going to ask yourself, and then what? Or in some cases, what needs to happen before you can do that? So before I can replace my mulch, I need to remove the current mulch that's there. Well, now this has me thinking, before I can replace that mulch, I need to shovel out the old mulch that's there, but I don't have a shovel to do that. And I don't have anywhere to put the old mulch. So I need to go out and buy lawn bags and a shovel. So you can already see how this helped me out. Because if I would have gone ahead and started replacing my mulch and going out and buying the mulch that I needed, well, then I would have come home and realized, oh man, I have to get rid of all this old mulch. And then I would have been like, well, wait, I don't have anywhere to put it and I don't have any way to pick it up. So this is just helpful for you to think about the things that need to happen. Along with my garden renovation, I want to replace the bricks around my garden. Replacing them is easy enough and just buying newer versions of what I already have. However, what am I going to do with the older versions? So I need to go ahead and check to see when bulk pickup is in my neighborhood. By reminding myself that I need to check on when that is, I can better plan for this actual renovation. If the bulk trash pickup isn't happening until later on in the spring, I have to make the decision on whether I want to replace those bricks now as a part of this project, or perhaps wait until we're closer to when the bulk trash pickup is, and that way I can put out the old and bring in the new. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to buy new plants for my garden. So before I do that, I need to go ahead and dig up my old plants. I already have a shovel because I'm replacing the mulch here, so I don't need to worry about buying a new shovel. But before I buy the new plants, I probably should do some research to make sure that I'm buying the right ones for my location and making sure to buy the plants that work for the light that my garden gets. By first writing down the solution to our topic or our decision and thinking about each step and asking ourselves, and then what? We've essentially created a to-do list and a shopping list for ourselves inside of the second order thinking. I know that I need to replace the mulch. I need to buy lawn bags and a shovel. I need to check when bulk trash is going to be and buy new bricks. I'm going to be buying new plants for my garden and also researching what's going to work best for my space. Let's go ahead and do one more example just to really embed the idea. The decision that we're making is that we're going to paint our front door. So the first thing that we would need to do is repaint the front door. Our second order thinking is that if we're going to repaint the front door, and if we pick a new color, we know that we have to get HOA approval. And then what? Well, let's go ahead and check with the HOA and see what the current color is, and maybe we just repaint it the same color that it already is. Along with painting the front door, I'm also deciding that I'm going to go ahead and repaint the railings too. Okay, and then what? Well, if I'm going to repaint the railings, then I need to go ahead and make sure I sand them down first before repainting them. Well, and then what? Well, to be able to sand them down, I need to have the sand belts to be able to do that, and I don't think that I have any more in the garage. So let's go ahead and buy new sandpaper. Your outcomes are not always going to be negative. It's not a way to talk yourself out of something. However, that can sometimes be the result. But more than anything, it's just about you going through and thinking about what you have to do. Maybe after going through the approved colors with the HOA, I decide that I don't want to do it. Well, that's great. Then I need to go ahead and put in my request form before I go ahead and paint the door. That way, I'm not going to be wasting time if I didn't get that approval first. If I go out and buy the paint to repaint the railings, but then I get home and realize that I don't have the other tools to do that, this is just a really great way to stop, take a moment, and really think through everything that you need. Great if I buy the new sandpaper, but if I get home and realize that I don't have the paint brushes to put the paint onto it, it's going to be a little bit difficult to do that. I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below if you've used second order thinking before and you found it helpful, or now that you understand and know what second order thinking is, if you think that this might be helpful for future decisions that you're making. As mentioned before, you can download a free printable for this exact project down in the descriptions below, or you can check out the blog for more details and the printable link as well. I do hope that you found this helpful and can't wait to share more ideas with you over on the Archer and Olive blog. We'll talk soon.